And joining us this morning is Yasa Indo Foundation's Behavioral Pals Clinical Director and Co-founder Kunthi Kumalasari Hardi, who will share her insights on autism intervention. Halo Mbak Kunthi.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good,
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we all know the word autism, but can you explain a bit about the definition of autism itself?
Yes, so autism is a complex neurodevelopmental condition. It's a fact where people going to behave social and communication differently. So I think that's like maybe the broader term of autism is.
Okay. Right. Now, we also want to know at what age usually you can detect autism in a person?
Yes, professional can reliably detect autism at the age of 2 years old, but you can see the sign as early as 9 months when baby is not responding when you call, or if the baby is not showing complex emotion like happy, sad, anger. It's usually like the first sign of the autism.
Okay, so emotions,
yes,
they cannot show their way.
Yeah.
Right. Now this year theme for the Autism Awareness Day is towards a neuro-inclusive world for all, which means transformation around neurodiversity, which continually scale up to overcome barriers. I think that's the key words there that we want to talk about, which is you coming in from Yasa Indo Foundations.
Yes.
You do what they call applied behavior analysis.
Yes.
Can you explain to us what is ABA and what is the relation to the autism treatment?
Yes. So ABA is like evidence-based approach. We are using the principle of learning and motivation to improve social significant behavior. And that's when ABA and autism actually coming together. So professionals who learn ABA, they understand how people learn and how to use the motivation to help people learn. And people with autism, they learn differently. So we try to understand how can these people with autism learn the skill like communication, social skills, or if they have inappropriate behavior, how to replace the behavior to more appropriate and functional.
Oh.
Okay. So can you give me an example of kids probably going to school,
Yeah.
or they getting ready to entering school year and stuff like that? Like, what kind of behavior do they need to prepare to be able to join their friends in class and,
Yes.
and be able to learn like everything?
Yes. So many of the early intervention treatment, what we do is we actually teach kids to learn. Yeah. Basic of learning is usually first understanding instruction, able to follow instruction. And then second is able to sit down and attend to the instruction, able to wait, able to imitate. Those skills are some of the very first skill that we teach. And then when they able to do it, we start to like teach more of the language stuff, like all the name of the item, actions, preposition, etc. Attend to longer instruction, and then we start to transition to like the generalization in the school or in the like different area. So like we teach the basic skill, and that the basic skill is going to be the foundation for them to learn in bigger environment like school.
Ah, I see. So it's hand in hand with their learning mechanism, learning methods.
Yes.
Now, we also want to know, Mbak Kunthi, what are the steps actually when a child is, with autistic? What are the steps of the treatment? Because we want to know as a parent, what should you do when your kids have autism?
Yeah. So. When child come to me, they usually already have to diagnose whether that autism, ADHD, because I'm not only work with child with autism. So after the diagnose, and then when they come, first I do assessment. The first step of assessment is usually to interview the parents, the caregivers, to understand the learning history, or if there's like problem behavior, what are the function, like why they are doing that, what is the history, what are you doing when your child is tantrum? What did you do when your child started hitting his head? Something like that. So we try to understand that, and then go to the more direct assessment. So that we try to understand the baseline level of the skills. So for when we're saying like language, there's like steps to it. Like, and we try to understand the baseline. Where is the child at imitation? Can the child do one-step imitation, or can the child do two-step? Like for example, the child do when I said do this, okay? And then can the child do when I said do this? Something like that. That's two-step. And then like three-step. Because at school you do multiple step, right? The teacher said, like do this, and this, multiple instruction. Everybody line up, get your bag, and do this, something like that. So that's the steps. And then it's like, how's this child vocabulary? Does he understand, this is mommy, this is dad, this is my stuff, something like that. So we understand the baseline, and then move from there to teach another skills.
Okay, and language skill is one of them.
Language skills, yes.
Okay.
Because many of child with autism is usually they have language issue.
I see.
Yeah, so because they learn differently, they cannot just get whatever the environment throw at you.
Yeah.
Like the typical kids do. Yeah.
Okay. Now, we also want to know, Mbak Kunthi, when a child is diagnosed with autism, it's not only the child that has to go through all the programs,
Yes.
but the parents also.
Yes.
Now, as parents, what are you teaching them, and what are the programs that they need to apply at home?
Yes. So actually, I think because of the COVID, things have been changed. Before, I usually work with the child and the therapist. Like I plan the treatment and I train the therapist. But because of the COVID, the situation, we cannot do direct treatment. So it's actually more of parent training. The basic things that I usually teach is the principle of the behavior, such as reinforcement. So while what we are doing, there's going to be something that we want to achieve at. For example, I keep on cooking because when I cook, my husband eat it, and my husband says that, oh, this is delicious, something like that. And that's the reinforcement. With child with autism, we try to understand what are the reinforcement. That could be anything. That could be, praise. That could be toys. That could be access to do jumping or something like that. Yeah, it's different. So first, teaching them the principle of behavior, like reinforcement, and then one by one teach the technique to teach kids with autism, because there is like an evidence based technique like that continuously prove that it can teach the autism well. Like this kid trial training is how we teach one skill at a time, or prompting, how we help the child, or like chaining, how we teach multiple steps, like washing hands. There's like multiple steps, right?
Yeah.
Washing this time,
with
like
soap and
wearing clothes, something like that. So we teach the principle basically to the parents.
Now we already had covered the parents. Like some autism has their levels. There are some kids that are able to join school like every other kids, but again with precautions. And then it takes a whole village to actually to raise the kids. And then at the same time, they're in school. We have homeworks or assignment where we have to work with other kids.
Yes.
With kids. Now, how can the teacher or even like their friends dealing with working with kids with autism, and like how are they structured? And I noticed they tend to be more focused on with one person. Like you say, they're having problems with multiple steps, instructions,
yes.
as you mentioned. So how can you work together with inclusion? So like including those kids in part of the games.
First thing is we need to understand the baseline, again, the baseline skills. if the child is in the level of able to just doing one-step instruction, and there's going to be 2 or 3-step instruction, we know that the child cannot do it independently. That means there's going to be teacher or pseudo teacher or friends going to help the child. First, understanding the baseline skills. Second is many child with autism is benefit with structure. Like we are going to discussion for 30 minutes. And in discussion, everybody need to talk. That's create the strict rules because that's the problem. In our daily life, the social norms is so many and it's gray. With child with autism, they see it is like black and white. For example, like, greetings. Yeah. When I met you, I greet, right? Because you also come, look at me, and you greet. Okay. And you greet your family when you're coming home, but you're not greeting everybody at the mall.
Yeah.
That's different. Like you met people might look at you, but at the mall you're not greeting. You don't say hi to everybody. Yeah. So that's some of the social norms that might be difficult for a child with autism.
I see. Okay.
So clear instruction.
Yeah, clear instruction.
Clear instruction and rules. Yeah.
Okay, that's our note. Now, Mbak Kunthi, for my last question of the day, because today is Autism Awareness Day, what is it that you want to, educate people about awareness? What are the things that people need to know as society to create more awareness of autism?
Yes. So I think the world is going to be benefit is everybody accept and understand what is autism. Like I said, it's like a complex neurodevelopmental condition. Well, the people is doing social and communication differently. So when you understand what is autism and the symptoms, if you see child with autism, for example, like at the mall, having a tantrum and a meltdown, and you see like some sign, it looks like this child is autism. You see it, and you know that it's not because it's a bad child, or it's just bad parents. Yes, it's because the child is having autism, and he's just in the process of learning how to behave well at the mall. So you like no more like judge,
no judgment whatsoever.
And also because the child with autism is behave differently, think differently. Allow them to also include it in the school. Allow them to like express themselves when they play in the park. Because they have like their own behavior. Like when they're exciting, they're going to like maybe rocking or steaming, and that's okay. Because just how they enjoy life.
Yeah, they're unique.
Yeah, they're unique. That's right.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Kunthi, for coming. Thank you for the insightful talk show.
Yeah,
it's great. I mean, again, it's Autism Awareness Day, so it helps to understand like what they're going through. They just see things differently, and then it's just being treated differently.
Yes.
All right, guys, we're up for another short break. After the break, Rafli will be back for another special stories in Salam Ramadan.